These tutorials are on the settings and screen captures we need for flow design. So open up flow design. Now I've got some cars that I've entered in here before, but what I'm after is show you how to bring those in. So go to local. I've got my third racer here. Now I've put all of the STLs, so in Creo I've saved them as .stl files. Save a copy, pull the menu up, find STL, save the 3 versions. I'm going to load my third vehicle. Now you notice that it's on its side here. We can correct that straight away. You go to orientation and click on one of the slide bars. You'll find which one will do the job. Make sure it's at 90 or 270 or 360, whatever you want. Go OK. The settings for all of these is one of the previous videos, so you'll need to have a look at those to find the settings for it. What I want you to do is then turn on drag plot, and while that's there, you'll find that's not reading properly at the moment. It'll start to register after a couple of seconds. These are the bits of data here. The drag coefficient is the amount of pressure that this wind velocity is putting on it. So this is in meters per second, the wind velocity coming into the vehicle. Green is the mid-range. You'll notice this graph starting to change right now. Green air is constant speed, blue air is low speed, red air is accelerated speed. So as wind comes in and hits the vehicle, it pressurizes the air and increases its wind speed. So this area here is faster wind than what this is. The turbulence behind the vehicle is created by just the drag behind the vehicle. So what I want you to do, I want you to use your left mouse button. I want you to drag around, and I want you to drag the little ball right into the middle position. Let the curtain readjust, just move it slowly, let the curtain readjust to you pretty much dead smack in the middle of the vehicle. Click the little house to take you back to straight. I want you to use your mouse wheel to scroll in. Bring the vehicle up so you've probably got the green screen, probably level with your vertical in this area, car in the middle. While it's creating these things, I want you to go down and I want you to start easy capture. And it'll open up that. You can downsize that screen. It's tagged to the small button or the button below the escape key on the top left corner. The little squiggle, very used by very few things. We're going to use that as our trigger for screen capture. And in the folder on the desktop, you've got screenshots. I've been capturing my first 2 vehicles. There's my 1, 2, 3 for my first vehicle, 3 for my second vehicle, and I'm going to do the 3 for my third vehicle now. So let's go back to flow. Now you notice the thing, what we're after, coefficient of drag is the amount of pressure or drag pulling this car back. So the surface area of this vehicle, it's like a sail. The wind's catching it, it's pushing the car backwards. That's the coefficient of drag. The amount of force in newtons that's pushing on that vehicle, pushing on the surface area, is here. And then the average of that coefficient of drag is here. But it won't sort of happen until this line stabilizes. It could be wherever, and the trace line that's running through it could be whatever shape. Once this figure starts to stabilize, what I want you to then do is just press the trigger button and you'll hear a click. Now if I look in my screenshot folder, there's the one I've just taken the picture of there. So I've got one in the center curtain at the moment. So what I want you to do is to take one for the center curtain, then I want you to turn the vehicle around, left mouse click, and according to your folio, that was the first slice right through the middle of the vehicle at 0. This is the second one, about 50%. You can only go as wide as the outside of the vehicle. So I want one in the middle, one halfway, and one on the outside. So the middle one, we're going to do this. I'm going to drag that out and let it stabilize about halfway between there and the wheels. When I'm happy with that, I hit the little house, scroll my mouse bar, zoom the car in so that the green is about the size it is here. And again, I've got really large coefficient of drag. That's a lot of drag. you'll notice here it's starting to change. Suddenly this will start to plot the drags. A lot of calculations going on in the background here. Again, you've got hotspots here where wind is being deflected and increasing its wind speed. It's then slipping over the vehicle much quicker. See the plot starting to happen. In between the arches, those guards, is this area where the wind just wants to swirl. And again, at the back of the vehicle. These are low pressure areas and they are almost adding to the point of sucking the vehicle back a bit. Not so much this one, but this one definitely. You notice the coefficient drags dropped dramatically. It was 2.4, it's now down to 0.4. So what I'm looking at is just seeing when that stabilizes. It may or may not coincide with this blue line going perfectly down the middle here, because there's lots of calculations that are varying at the moment. You can see by that line there, that's a whole bunch of plotting that it's doing at the moment. Now, once that's stabilized and it doesn't seem to have changed much, all you do is press the button again, capture that image. You don't have to look in the folder anymore. Opposite mouse click, move it around, drag it out as far as you can. It'll go right out to the edge of the wheels. Go back to the little house, zoom in, and again, we're right out on the edge of the guards now, so right where the edge of the wheels are. Very similar, but if you notice the turbulence is here, but nowhere near as much turbulence. There was a big pocket of turbulence behind the vehicle before, behind this flat edge here. So you've now got a bit of wind escaping, a little bit escaping, and you've only got a smaller pocket. Okay, calculations are starting to happen. You'll notice this figure's a lot lower than this, so I imagine that's going to start to drop a bit soon. Okay, so what we're chasing is, we're chasing the center, 50% and 100%, which is the middle of the vehicle, halfway in the middle and out near the wheels. You'll want 9 screenshots in total, 3 for each of your 3 vehicles. Now that seems to have stabilized. It's dropping a tiny bit at the moment. Now that figure and the amount of pressure that's pushing on the vehicle is going to determine probably which is the most efficient vehicle. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to press the capture button and let's just have a quick look in the... So I've got my first vehicle, my second, that's the second slice out near the wheels. I've got my second vehicle in the center, 50% out near the wheels. Third vehicle in the middle at 0%, 50% across to the wheels, out near the wheels. That's got my things. So basically once you've got those, you're ready to insert those into your folio.